Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper the Friendly Ghost. Let's just dive in. And before we jump on in, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am getting sick at the current moment. So if I do sound a little bit rough, I do apologize. But nonetheless, when we look at the Casper price chart, I have been looking at the 3-day span. Recently, we have been watching this, and we have bounced off of a nice resistance zone that was a support zone that I told you guys that we need to hold in order to have higher continuation. Right now, we are watching the EMAs right now, which is at like 4 cents. We need to have a clean break here and break above the resistance zone at about roughly 5 cents to have that, retest of possible, or I should say, not a retest, but a new test of about 7 cents, which would be well above the demand channel. The demand channel is going to be pretty hard to break above. This is that clean resistance tap that we seen back in the middle of October. This was very exciting, the run up, but now we are really kind of looking at what's going to happen next here for Casper. I do have a few bids down here in this region. Don't know if they will morph into reality and be targeted, but I have been watching Casper closely for the last couple days, especially in terms of price action, but also even fundamentals and updates from the team. Getting very exciting. We are watching a few things around Casper going into 2023. A lot of them is around like Casper 2.0 and a lot of the upgrades, but I do think that the price action right now doesn't really matter too much. I just kind of accumulate when we see some major sell-offs happen. So far, like I said, the support range at the 236, which is almost 4 cents, and also at even the resistance zone has held so far. We bounced off on the weekly. The 20 EMA weekly the weekly line, which is this yellow one down here, which is very exciting because we have held it pretty strong. Or sorry, this is the 10 weekly EMA, not the 20. We actually still held the 20 as well, which is this green line, but this is the 10 weekly EMA, which we held perfectly. We came down and wicked off of it perfectly, and now we are sitting at about almost 4 cents yet again. So pretty good price action. Nothing too crazy. Nothing telling me that this is going to have a massive breakdown or anything like that. On some of the lower time frames, like on the daily, we are seeing a little bit of volume coming in. We need a lot more though in order to continue a nice little push up above resistance, which we could see resistance forming around this 4 cent zone right now. So we are watching this to see a breakdown. I think that in the Discord, I said that I actually have a buy at about 3 cents to see if we wick down that far, because again, a lot of things economically are looking pretty rough around like stocks and things like that. But I am expecting a little bit of a nice bullish event for Bitcoin going into the middle of this month. This week is going to be pretty bearish though, I will say that. And I think that the next 2 weeks, so like the last like half of this month should be pretty good for crypto. But we have to wait and see what's happening. But with Casper, we have been seeing a lot of updates around Casper within this market. First off, we were next to XRP, right above XDC and HBAR and even XLM as a top trending asset on Uphold. And if you guys do see over here, there was about an 84% are buying Casper on Uphold, which is pretty crazy. We've been seeing a lot of updates around Casper, and the price movement has been pushing the name out there. A lot more people are really kind of learning about it and understanding it. So I think that that's very beneficial for not only the community growth, but also to really kind of get the name out there, as well as really kind of showing people how undervalued Casper actually is. And also talking about that, we did see a huge NFT project launch out on Casper as well as even Ethereum. This is called the Genesis Empire. I haven't looked too much into it, but off of this video that we see here, it looks pretty high quality. I mean, the artwork, everything around it looks pretty nice. I'm definitely going to be watching a lot more of the NFT projects launching out on Casper, because I do think that going forward we will see a lot more community growth around NFTs. And I really think that when we look at the NFT market, I think it's extremely overlooked in the sense of how much value it actually provides to a network. Hedera has been a big player around NFTs, and I even said, go look at the Hedera NFT marketplace on Zeus Market compared to most of the other NFT marketplaces on other very, not only large chains, but successful ones. We are right up their alley in terms of volume and value being transacted on Hedera, and the community around NFTs on Hedera has been exploding. So This is very good to see. And I want to see a lot more projects going live out on Casper Network in terms of the NFT sector, and I think that we will see that. Also, we do see over here CTO and co-founder Meta Parlikar touched on some use cases during her Ketone at LH Blockchain Summit. We're seeing a lot of interest in NFTs, and in a very different way than the market generally thinks about NFTs today. It is a lot more than buying, selling, and trading JPEGs, and I completely agree. I would love to see a little bit more insights on some of these interested NFT sort of plans. It's most likely around enterprise-grade NFT use cases, which we already see with like IPWE. Very exciting. IPWE has been very large as a player around Casper. In fact, I recently just made a video on IPWE with Fortune 500 companies. I mean, they are expanding rapidly. And also over here we founded Casper Labs in 2018, and when we founded it, we knew that enterprises would lead the way. We knew they needed a company focused on professional services structured in that way, and Casper Labs is that professional services company. And listen closely, this is from Blockchain Summit, and this is of course Meta talking about this.
So we founded Casper Labs in 2018. This is an especially auspicious time because we just celebrated our 4th birthday. And at the time when we founded Casper and Casper Labs, we knew that enterprises would lead the way. And we also knew that enterprises needed a few things. They needed an excellent product, a blockchain technology to meet their needs, but they also needed a company that was focused on professional services, structured in that way. And Casper Labs is that professional services company that provides support to the public Casper protocol, but additionally we provide training, onboarding, and bespoke development for large and medium-sized enterprises and even public projects to build out on the Casper protocol. So we're very excited to be celebrating our 4th birthday.
And they really are igniting a major move within the enterprise grade sector as well as the SME area around small medium enterprises to really kind of come over to Casper and build out solid use cases as well as really kind of jump into the blockchain space in large ways. And I think that this is awesome to see. They have been really kind of catering to the enterprise grade sector for a while as well. And we do see over here what's a good example of upgradable NFTs. Here from CTO and co-founder. Again, Meta talking about this at the LA Blockchain Summit. Listen closely.
What's a good example of upgradable NFTs? So a great example is, let's say I issue a bunch of NFTs and initially the business says we don't want those NFTs to be tradable. Right? There is no capacity for anybody to transfer this NFT from one person to the other. But then later on there's a business need that changes and says, you know what, now we can actually transfer these NFTs from one person to the other. We've discovered through our process that there's an opportunity where we can take advantage of the tradability of these NFTs. So what you can do is just upgrade the NFT contract and now you can add a transfer method to it. You don't have to burn the NFTs and reissue them because that's very upsetting. It's very expensive from a gas perspective as well. Here you can just upgrade the contract and add a new method or even add new capabilities to those NFTs versus having to burn them and reissue them.
And this has been one of the biggest, things to me around Casper that makes it so diverse is just the upgradable NFTs. Obviously, this is not like the biggest selling point to me, but it is one of the largest ones that people should be focused on because it really is something special. I mean, we've talked about the upgradable smart contracts for so long. And we do see over here, like the enhanced CEP78 NFT standard supports more than ordinary NFT collections. Developers can associate real-world objects with digital representations as NFTs. And again, a lot more of this will kind of morph into reality around a lot more upgrades and offerings to NFT collections. I think that this is incredible to see. I think that when we look at the NFT sector, there's a lot of problems within it around upgradability, around changes being made, things like that. So them having that option and really kind of being ahead of the game around a lot of these layer ones really makes it a diverse structure for these major use cases to morph into reality and really kind of grow out on Casper. This is why I do think that they will be the accelerant that really kind of pushes the NFT market into new heights. And I think that they will be at the core structure of that, very similar to how Ethereum really kind of started the fire. And since then, it has really kind of spread out. And I really think that Casper is going to be the big player around NFTs going forward. I think that there's just no way that something like this could be overlooked around NFTs, especially when you look at some of these larger, NFT projects really kind of growing out into like some big projects. I mean, they're hitting massive valuations. So I really think that this is going to be crucial going forward around NFT success. But also, talking more so about development and growth and things like that going live, we do see over here, we're about to see a new generation of the Casper Network's Casper Signer. Some of the features you can look forward to are a multi-platform, multi-browser, as well as on-chain wallet. They've honestly been killing it recently with a lot more of development happening, building, things like that. I think recently they just released this fully. So we do see over here the Casper Signer v 1.4.18 release. We will release the Signer's next version to add support for new integrations, feature-enriched block explorer, and a Web3 game on the Casper network. So a lot of things are really kind of happening over at Casper. They have not slowed down one bit. And by the way, this is their event that they are at, LA Blockchain Summit. Huge event. And what I've said on this channel or so many times in the past is that these events are crucial for the success of these projects. I mean, it really does add a beneficial aspect to the company itself as well as the project by allowing for community growth to happen, allowing a lot more eyes to come over that just weren't aware of what these projects were doing, what they were building, and the efficiencies around some of these networks. Because on the surface, all of these layer ones look the same until you look at the efficiencies and the things that they offer, like upgradable smart contracts, for an example, because that is a huge one. And then, of course, you have predictable gas fees and a lot more other things that also make Casper very lucrative. So with all that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.